If band names were literal, what would be the best, worst concerts to attend? A flock of seagulls would be pretty awful tbh. Conjuring mental images of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds. The Killers. Counting crows would be pretty dull. 1, 2. Oh, I guess that's all of them. Caw. I'm sure Sex Pistols would be interesting. Rolling Stones concerts would be incredibly dangerous. Can't beat Barenaked Ladies worst. Anthrax. If you use hitting as punishment for your children, why? I've been hit once by my dad for kicking the dog really hard out of rage as a child. I'm not saying it's right, but I'd have done the same. Never hurt an animal since. Not a parent, but I was frequently spanked. And it was obvious that she did it because she was angry. Mom wasn't mature enough to regulate her own emotions and would spiral into a screaming whirlwind of hands and nails. At the smallest provocation, she sometimes non-apologized afterwards. I'm sorry, but you need to stop making me so mad. Quote, I didn't care for being hit, so I avoided it as often as possible by becoming an excellent liar. When I was a kid, I would randomly run off. It drove my parents mad, especially as my mom is disabled so can't move so fast. They tried everything to stop this behavior. Once I went to run into a road. I remember the car swerving a breath from my nose. My mom yanked me back and in an amalgamation of rage and terror she smacked my ass so hard I lost all sense of body and being. I never once bolted again after that. I barely remember it, and while my dad would smack me as a final warning, my mom didn't often. My personal perspective is I will do my best to never smack my child, but I imagine I'd rather smack the butt than see them ran over. Edit. Grammar. He doesn't hit them, but my friend makes his kids run laps in the backyard if they're being bad. So I will give an honest answer. I have spanked my 2 kids a grand total of 3 times. I'm 100% against spanking. But in a moment of tired, exhausted, frustrated single mom, toddler hell, I showed weakness. 2 of the times were when my toddler decided to bolt into danger. The other time I was trying to get my daughter's diaper on. She was screaming, crying, fighting me. It had been a long day and I just needed to get her diaper on before driving home. She kicked me so hard on the boob. I was still breastfeeding and it hurt so fucking bad. And I reacted by popping her on the bottom. Once again, not proud of myself. It was a moment of weakness. Here's the terrifying part. It worked. That actually freaked me out. It was like cheating. I can see why parents do it. It's a horrible way to get your child to do what you want. I, reluctantly, only spanked when one of my kids were injuring a sibling and wouldn't stop. It was probably less than 4 times between 2 kids. We were buddies again very soon after. Who's the worst president in the history of your country? I am German. Nicolae Ceausescu. We voiced our displeasure. My 8th grade class president was such a douche. Probably Putin. I only had one president. And he's the worst, Lukashenko. Subscribe, my brothers.